Alright, so in this video we're going to do a dry hatch versus a wet hatch on hatching some eggs out, some chicken eggs. A dry hatch is just no added water versus a wet hatch is just you keep the humidity between 50 and 60. So we're curious. We're going to basically just find out if a wet hatch is superior to a dry hatch or vice versa, or if they're equal, or just to find out. So we had a bunch of eggs locally and we got a couple non-local, so we're gonna throw those in here, and yeah, let me go ahead and show you the eggs real quick so you can see, and then so these are the eggs. We're gonna do half dry, half wet, and that's it. We're using the exact same brood incubators. They're both 360. We got them on Amazon. They say that these are really good, so we're testing them out for the first time. We did have to change the temperatures. It says 105 or 100.5 and 102.5, but the actual inside temperature, we have our own thermometers in there. So this one's at 20%. That's just the natural humidity that's within the house type thing, and 52, 53 now is at is what we're at as far as with added water. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just start putting these in there. Yeah, just bring the whole thing over there. We like to keep these on the counter, so they're right next to the water. Also, they're in the kitchen where we're at half the day, so.
We have extra eggs.
So this holds 22 eggs. We thought it held 24. It holds 22. So keep that in mind whenever you're counting or whatever. You could probably stack eggs on top of each other. I don't see why that would be a problem, but we're not going to do that. Not for this experiment anyways. Yeah, you could probably stack eggs up on top.
And just be worried about the roll.
Yeah. And this one is going to be our wet, our normal. This is what people normally do. Oh, look at that spinning. So that's how it spins, or how it rotates the eggs. It just moves every hour or 2 hours. I think it's every 2 hours. So yeah. So again, yeah, these were local. We got them a really good deal. And then we had some Rhode Island Reds that came in via the U.S. mail. So those were a replacement order on a previous order we had. So there we go, 22 eggs. We're setting it up. So we got roughly 18 to 20 days. We'll see what happens here. We're gonna check back in on pretty much like day 3, day 7, day 10, day 14, and see what we're doing here as far as progress. Okay, so it is day 4. It says day 17 up here when I click the menu button, but it starts off at day 21. So 21, 20, 19, 18. So it's actually day 4.5-ish. So I'm just gonna do a quick candling. I'll turn off some lights here. That should be dark enough. Anyways, this is the dry. This is the wet. So we're at 24% humidity here. We're at almost 50% here. So I'm just gonna pop the top. That makes it a lot easier to see. Okay, so this one, the same. It's too hard to tell. Let's go with a lighter colored egg. This is an olive actually. So, oh no, it's not. I don't see any growth yet. We should see some veining. There's nothing on that one. Here's a spotted one, super spotted. Very hard to tell. It's so dark. All right. A light one. All right, so I don't know if you can see this, but over here on the left side there's some veining, so that's a good sign. Let me take this thing off and see if I can get you guys a closer look. So it's hard to see, but there is some veining there, so that is a good sign. All right, these are this is the Rhode Island Reds we got. All right, that's really good to see. So you see the veining there, and these ones came in the mail, so I'm super excited about that. So that's growth. Looks like a spider. Oh, it really does look like a spider. Okay. So here's another Rhode Island. My wife wrote Rhode Island red on them. I can't really see too much going on in there. Let's check some of the green ones. Some of the darker eggs are going to be harder to tell as well. This is a blue egg. Oh yeah. Yeah, you see that. So that's fantastic. So these are all local too. The colorful eggs. The only ones we have here are the Rhode Island Reds that came in, and then we also ordered some black copper marins that are in this incubator over here. And we'll can a couple of those if we can. So let's try one more from this batch. Oh, that's a weird looking one, but it looks like there's something going on in there. So that's good. By day 10, we'll know if we need to remove eggs. By then, it'll be pretty apparent if they're not going to hatch. So throw this back on. Really need to use the same top. So this is the dry hatch. So all these eggs are, like I said, from our experiments of trying to do it without any humidity. So here we go. There's our spiders. Take this off. So there we go. First one, we got some business. All right, so set that aside. Let's go for a darker one. Hard to tell, but it looks like there's something going on right there at the top. Kinda. We'll see. That one's definite. So far we got 2 out of 3. It's definitely there. Also definitely there. So far it's looking like the dry is superior. Okay, it's day 7. It's time to check some candling. So I'm gonna bust out our secondary candler just so I can get a quick one if I need to. So the first one we're gonna check is going to be the dry hatch. So I'm just gonna pop these off and go at it real quick. I'm also going to turn this on. So we're going to start with the top. We're going to start going. Alright, so that one's looking great. So good. It's also looking good. You can see these. I don't know if you guys can actually see them. So it's very hard to tell on the dark ones. Extremely hard. I can't tell on the olives, so I'm just gonna leave them as is. One's got growth in it. So far, all of them have growth except for the olive eggers that I can't see. This one is nothing. I just see a yolk. So I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep these ones down here all in a row. So that one. This one has. You can see it's halfway. This. I'm just gonna write an X on them. As in, I suspect that. But out of 22 eggs, 20 are viable, which is stellar. So, put this back on there. And it's okay to leave the lid off for a few minutes. It's just gonna drop the temperature for just a few minutes. You know, hens don't sit on there the entire time. You know that. Alright. Now we're going to the wet hatch. And we are going to check these ones. So I'm going to start with the inside this time. Alright, so let's see if you guys can see these. Alright, so there is growth in there. You can see it. Air sac down there. Alright, nice light olive egg. There's growth in there. You can see it. Okay, so on both the dry and the wet hatch, we have 20 out of 22 that we know of. So it's a pretty good. Okay, day 10. Dry hatch, wet hatch. This one stays about 50% humidity or so. And this one stays at about 21. It's about average. Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll do the wet hatch, the normal hatch. This one first. Okay, it's extremely dark, an olive egger. Hard to tell. Let me turn some more lights off. Oh my god, it's so hard. Oh, we got a line in there. You kind of see it. I can see it. Alright, next olive egger. Same thing. Got an air sac line. You can see it. check again later. This is the one I put an X on, and it's definitely bad. There's nothing in there but a yoke. Take that guy out. Here's the other X, yoke only. Nada. Taking that one out. Okay. There's the growth right there. And last, which is number 22. Oh yeah. So 20 out of 22. As expected. Alright, first X. I mean, I see an air sac at the bottom, but I don't really see any veins or anything. I'm gonna call that one bad. Looks like a yolk. You know what? I'm gonna leave it in there. It's too hard to tell. There's nothing hard to tell about that one. Just the yolk. You know what? This one is bad. Again, there's nothing in there but a yolk. I'll crack them open later to be sure, but I mean, either way, one bad. Alright, so this is a dark one. Too hard to tell. Put it in the center. You see the air sac at the bottom, and everything else is dark, so it's in there. Air sac at the bottom, everything else is dark, plus you can see some veins right there. That's pretty cool looking. Okay guys, so it's day 18 and I am taking out the turning trays and making sure this is on. I already took that one out. I'm just gonna go ahead and take this one out real quick. This is the dry hatch, that's the wet hatch. So the only difference that we're gonna have to do now, we got some big eggs in here. Okay, so what we do here is we open the vents all the way. And then we, even though it's a dry hatch, we still have to add humidity to it at this point. So what we do is take out these little covers, and in there's a spot for adding the water. So the left side will get it up to about 40%, but the right side will get it all the way up to 60, is what we're shooting for, 60 to 80. We'll check back again in an hour or so just to see where it's going. They said add hot water, and it'll help keep temperature and humidity faster. I don't know how true that is, but it doesn't hurt to. It makes sense. Alright, so this is pretty much locked down. I'll candle an egg or two just to just to kind of do it. Since we're here and we just took it off anyways. Let's see if we can get this one and this one and this one. All right. Well, I don't know if that's that. It's probably not that good right there. Looks like it started to develop and then stopped. Maybe. It's hard to tell. This one's pretty good. That one is too. You can see the air sac. First one, I don't really know. You know, we'll see. I'm not really too concerned. Alright, so that's day 18. You can see the humidity's building up in this one. It's getting foggy. It's at 74%. We're going to keep an eye on this, and if it gets too high, we'll just take this little red cap off right here, and then air will seep out of here as well. Well, once the water level goes down. So, but between 60 and 80 is fine. All right, well, it should start hatching here in a day or so. So whenever they do, I'll get that on camera the best I can. Okay, so our dry hatch, which is was the first one that hatched an egg. So I want to say this chick hatched on day. What day would that be? Day 20, 21, something like that. The night of day 20. So there he is, all little. And no other activity right now, but you know, time will tell. Okay, so a quick update. Today's day 21. It's actually the beginning of day 21. And so in the dry hatch, we have 6 that have hatched, whereas the wet hatch, we have 0 that have hatched so far. There's a bunch of pipping going on, so there's plenty. Not worried about them not hatching. It's just so far, I would say not a coincidence if we have 6 hatch on this side and 0 on that side. So we'll see as the days progress. Okay everyone, so this is the final update. This is day 25 or 26. It's been 3 days and we haven't had anything hatched since. So on my left we have the dry hatch originally, and on the right we have the wet hatch. So we did pretty well, I think. We put on 22 eggs each. We've already pulled out 2 each, so we were left with 20. And now let's see what our numbers are. So this is the wet hatch right here. So we have 3 left. So 22 minus the 2 we already took out minus these 3. That puts us at 17 out of 22. So it's not bad. Alright, so we're going to go over to the dry hatch real quick. The dry hatch is 2. So we have 2 left. So we have 18 on this one instead of 17. So I would say the dry hatch was probably more worthwhile. I had 1 extra egg, which was, you know, a little bit better. But also it wasn't a whole hassle of trying to keep up with the humidity on the constant. So yeah, if I had to do it over again, we're definitely doing a dry hatch. I found it to be much better. So, all right. Well, if you like these type of videos, go ahead and like and subscribe, and shoot me some questions down in the comments, or just let me know what you think. All right. Thanks. Okay, so it's the last day. These guys are all maybe 3 or 4 days old. Now, there's quite a few in here. It's hard to see, but there's quite a few in here. We hatched out about, I think, 35, and there's probably about 50, 55 in here, somewhere around that. We went to Rural King and ended up picking up a few extras. So we hatched out, I think we got about 10 extra at the store. So we had a batch of black copper marins, and we hatched out. They were shipped to us. So we only hatched out 7 out of 13, which is, I'm pretty happy with that. So I ended up I picked up another 6 at the store, and we got a couple. We had a couple of these little gray guys. These. I don't know what they're called. I can't remember. My wife, she does all that stuff. So, but we got a couple of these guys, and they like to hang out together. And a couple randoms. So they had a bunch of chicks that were a little bit older. They were probably about a week, which you can't really tell in here. But they were only $1.50. So I got some Americanas and some, I don't know. Just a bunch of random stuff. So pretty happy about that. Anyways, they're all healthy. We haven't lost a single chick yet, which is pretty awesome. I did crack open those eggs just to see what was going on. And they just didn't hatch. There was a chick in them, so I don't know what happened. Kind of weird. Let me know. What happens or why that happens. I have out of the five eggs, 4 of them had fully developed chicks in them, and one of them was just like this brown, mushy looking stuff. I don't know what it was. It was kind of nasty. I cracked them all in bags, so it was it was something. I didn't have to smell it or anything like that. So we ended up picking up some of these guys too, and they're Morans as well, but they're Midnight Majesties. This guy does not want to be caught. So they're supposed to have really dark eggs, and yeah. So we'll see how these guys turn out. Yeah. All right. No, he doesn't want to be held. This little guy over here all by himself. So yeah, pretty happy about this. Most of these are a barnyard mix. They all look like they're black of some sorts and brown. That one looks like a little owl. Oh, it's pretty cool. Say hi, bub. All right. See ya.